Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Rooted Hearts Homestead. One thing I get asked is, with what you're doing, how do you do it all? And the answer is, I don't. Let me take you on an in-depth tour of how we do chores on our homestead and how everything is split out. We're gonna start with my chores and the child that is in training. So Steven is 6, almost 7. And when he's 8, he will get his own animal to be completely responsible for. The older girls already have animals that they're responsible for. So what I'm doing with Steven is training him on feeding, watering, bedding, all of that, so that when he gets to the point where he's ready for it, he can pick an animal and we can support him in his journey of learning about that animal and getting ready for it. What I do in the morning for the goats and the lambs, those are my 2 animals that I take care of. I have a bucket here with the lambs' bottles, and I need my funnel real quick. I forgot to grab the funnel. Steve is gonna get that. I milk and then actually pour the milk into the bottles and feed the lambs right away with that nice, warm, fresh milk. Steve comes out while I'm doing that, and he takes care of the outdoor cats. Every morning about this time, I head out to the goat barn and milk, and then I feed the lambs, and then I take the goats out to their pasture, and I put the lambs in the goat pen where there's access to the outside pasture. That's for them. While I'm doing that in the morning, Steve comes and feeds Horatio and Hermione. They get fed in the goat barn. My goal with that is to have no mice in the goat barn, and so far we have been successful in that. Speaking of Horatio. Good morning, Maybe. He's never far behind. So I'm gonna get to milking, and Steve will feed Horatio and then help me with taking the goats out to pasture. Well, he does that. I am waiting for her to finish eating, and then I'm going to milk Tiara. Wants attention. Because we're doing multiple things at once this morning, one of the other things that we're going to do, we're going to redo the beds since it's Saturday. We fluff beds on Saturday, and we also fill waterers on Saturday for the big waterers. Yep, that's all it took. Lambs are done. They are fed. So it's a real quick process. Just takes a couple minutes to feed them. And yeah, like I said, we have to wait for her to finish her snack. We want to make sure that she is getting plenty of feed. She's a good size. I love confetti. But she gets skinny if she doesn't have all of her snack. And I don't want her to get skinny. So yeah, so I'm going to wait for her to finish, feed the other goat, and milk her, then take her out to pasture. Okay, so we just put the goats out to pasture. They always are a bit chatty first thing because they want us to be there. And then now I am going to move the lambs into the goat pen. Well, and because it's Saturday, this is what it is. Routine is key. Because it's Saturday, we're gonna fluff beds. Now when I say fluff beds, I mean take straw and put down a new layer of bedding. This helps with cleanliness in the stalls. They're running about. This is their morning routine. They run in and out, run in and out. This helps with cleanliness in the stalls, and it also helps keep down the stench of animals. Here's my theory with animal beds. Animal beds do not have to stink. If we are properly taking care of them and putting in bedding, they shouldn't smell. I mean, there should be an animal smell, but not a stink smell. But basically all I'm doing is we layer and layer and layer, and then either every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on the animal, we completely clean out and start fresh. I also forgot to mention the big thing with just being able to, quote, do it all is having routine and consistency. What may just seem like an inconvenience and overwhelming, give it 3 months. And then if you do it consistently for 3 months, come back and look and go, oh, well now that just seems normal. And if it doesn't work well in those 3 months and it just isn't serving us, we change and adjust and get rid of the things that aren't working and try and bring in things that will. It's a constant rotation of what works, what doesn't, what can we change. So now that you've seen my 2 animals that I take care of on the homestead, I am going to take you to our oldest, Josie, and show you what she takes care of. So Josie's 2 animals that she does, essentially we each have 2 animals that we take care of. Sometimes it's just the same animal in 2 different places. Like Joseph, he does the pigs, and he has 2 different areas where he's got pigs. But Josie's 2 are the chickens and the turkeys. So what do you do in the morning for the chickens?
I let them out. And I always refresh their water because we have ducks with them, and they enjoy a clean play pool to play in.
And then again today, like I said, we are doing all of the bedding, and so that'll be a part of our routine. We're going to refluff bedding. So one of the things we do deal with is because the baby turkeys are getting their wings and they're not mature 100% yet. They yeah, we do end up with sometimes them flying out. And as far as I know, we have all of them in here. We've just counted them. But yeah, it can be a little bit confusing. So she's gonna refresh their water, and I'm actually going to open the door for the big turkeys down here. These are our meat turkeys that we're growing out. And so this is just what she does in the morning. So this one mama who's being really noisy, the reason is because she has a nest out here, and she goes, for whatever reason, she doesn't want to stay on the nest at night. She wants to go back in the pen, but then she goes back to her nest. So let me see if I can beat her to her nest. We can see what she's got going on there. I am not convinced that any of those eggs are going to hatch because she abandons the nest at night. I have no idea. I have no idea how it's going to work. I guess she might be able to, but she's doing her own thing and we kind of let it just go. We could eat the turkey eggs, but I have no need to do that. So the meat birds are on the other side of the coop, and they go out and we let them out to eat in the morning. Something that I think is important to note is we do try to help the kids with their chores if we have time. If we're all working together, it's like, why not? So I'm looking for any other nests. I actually throw the singleton eggs to the pigs because I don't know how long they've been out here. Since we're done hatching turkeys for the season, I just don't want them to get a taste for eggs. So no egg eating. So yeah, so these are our meat birds. As you can see, they are about ready to be put in the freezer. Some of them are quite ready. They're looking really good. We're actually getting another batch of meat birds this week. So we'll be getting that bed prepared today, but this is just the basic morning chores. And yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna force my kids to do it all by themselves. So right now I'm helping them with their stuff, especially when we have a Saturday. I said with Saturday, like I said, being refluff day, I want to make sure that they are able to do their chores well. And I kind of go through and I check and make sure everything's happening the way it should be. filling up all the waterers and the chickens and turkeys, and you've kind of seen how that works. And I'm gonna take these eggs inside. We'll come out once everyone's had breakfast and we will get the beds all refluffed. But for now, let's go find Beth and see how she is getting along in her chores. So that's what Nora does while we do chores. She has her breakfast. Now we're gonna head out with Beth and do her 2 animals, which right now, Beth's 2 animals are
Bo Peep and the rabbits.
So Bo Peep is out because Steve is doing dog poop. And so we'll start with the rabbits. And again, today is refluff day. Saturday, I like to go through and check on all the animals, refluff them, make sure their water is really good, especially the ones that have the bigger waterers. So yeah, let's get going to rabbits. So these are one portion of Beth's rabbits. And there are currently 11 babies and 3 parents in here. Daddy and 2 mommies. And Beth, what are you doing right now?
Dumping out the poop.
The babies climb in the food bin. Here, I'll dump out the poop for you. Just stay in, I'll just dump it. The babies climb in the food bin and poop. And so we have a pile of poop out here that we scoop into these bags eventually. And yeah, they make a mess. Let's just be honest. Babies are messy. Hey guys, sorry I stopped recording so abruptly. Let me explain how we do this and then you'll understand why we got to the point where we're at. We sex our grow-out rabbits and we put the grow-outs in pens according to their sex. Now we knew we were putting one girl rabbit in with the boys, but she was younger. We missexed one and she had babies. Why we don't let these moms have babies when they're younger is because they don't know how to be moms. Their natural instinct does not kick in yet. And so there were a bunch of dead babies in the grow-up pen. It's really hard on Beth. She loves her rabbits and her rabbit babies. And that's never how we want to find stuff. Nobody's at fault here. This was a mistake. I don't know that rabbit's going to make it. This is really hard. It never gets easier when you do something unintentional wrong. Because you never want to put your animals in a situation where they're going to be harmed. And we would never do that intentionally. Okay, y'all. So, yeah. My chore video took a turn and it kind of changed. And that is so true homestead. Like, I cannot begin to tell you how real homestead that is. So I was going through, I'm just trying to even remember where I was anymore. And we kind of took an hour just now. And we moved some rabbits around, got things changed, fixed up. Nora was inside eating. We got her out and dressed. As you can see, we each kind of have 2 animals we take care of. I took care of the lambs and the goats. Josie takes care of the chickens and the turkeys. And Beth takes care of Bo Peep, the guardian livestock dog, and the rabbits. We also, though, all help back and forth. You know, if someone needs help with their thing, we'll help. Now that we are working on finishing the refluffing, we will go and finish doing water. Steve and Charlie and Nora will all help me with that. And we work together. The biggest thing with being able to get everything done is working together. The garden is a group effort. The animals, even though we each have individual responsibilities, we also help each other if there's help that needs to happen. So the reason the homestead works and the reason we can get all this done, it's all because We are working together as a family unit. I feel like that builds team building in my kids. They learn to work with people that frustrate them. They learn to work with people that they like. And later in life, they'll be able to take those skills to the workplace and use them. I also think that it just solidifies us as a family and as a group, which is something that's really important to me, to make sure everyone feels like they belong, that they have a place in the family, and that they are a part of this family team that I like to call the Jessup Gang. I hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I'll see you guys next week.